Well, hello there, and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about some huge Second Amendment news going on in West Virginia. Now, this was already covered by John Crump and AmmoLand. Check those people out if you haven't. I believe they're missing the story, though. Yes, they covered the West Virginia story, but there's more going on behind the scenes that they didn't pick up on, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Yes, we're also going to talk about the pro-gun stuff directly, but there's secret stuff going on. Now, before we get into that, don't forget to shop at OnlyTackleFans at Shopify.com. Permanently demonetized on YouTube, so that's how I pay my bills, and I did get tourniquets back in stock. And remember, the best tourniquet ever made in the whole entire world is the one you actually carry on you. And that's where the snake staff ones shine, because look at how tiny this thing is. This would definitely fit in a magazine pouch. I believe most American women would even find this size inadequate and non-satisfying. That's how small it is. We're talking pretty much 2 fingers, if I could, just a little bit longer than my middle finger. Bam! Anyways, check those products out at OnlyTackleFans@Shopify.com. So let's get into it. What's going on with the pro-gun stuff first? The obvious news is West Virginia is writing a bill to basically circumvent 922-0. So in 922-0, as you know, that prevents us from buying any newly manufactured machine guns. They must be made before May 1st, 1986 to be transferred legally on a civilian. Now, there are exceptions with like SOTs, police officers, military, and this bill is exploiting another exception. So, what are we talking about here? West Virginia wants to open up state-run gun shops. Now, their angle for this is the bill, it's going after, with the exceptions, it says that a state can possess, transfer, or purchase newly manufactured machine guns. Now, obviously Congress did that, so you could buy machine guns on a state level for your police officers, but West Virginia's like, well, it doesn't say we have to buy them for a police officer, now does it? Huh? No, it sure does not. So, because we can purchase them, we can transfer them, we can sell them, and we can possess them, if we own a state-run liquor store, or if we own a state-run gun shop just like a state-run liquor store, we can sell these machine guns to the general public. Now, obviously, this bill hasn't been voted in or anything yet, but I believe it will. And let me go on to why. So what are we talking about here? As you've noticed, this isn't the only thing they're doing. They're also removing the bill about state ban on machine guns. Bonus. They're also trying to bring in constitutional carry. Bam, double bonus. Why? Why would they do something like that? I mean, yeah, it'd be cool, wouldn't it? But why? What's the angle? What's the rub here? What's the missing story? And that is, look at what Florida and Texas did. They didn't just pass gun laws, or I should say pro-gun laws, or not anti-gun laws because it's a pro-gun law, but it removes gun laws. They did signaling. What they're talking about here is this is identity laws. This is our identity. We are pro-Second Amendment. We are pro-freedom. Okay, you know, that makes sense. So West Virginia's trying to do something different or something similar. Why? Well, lately West Virginia's been in a negative population deficit. So they're losing population. That's really bad, especially if you're in the government, because you need taxes. You need people to come in. You need to see net growth. How do we change the state to get more growth? The ability to relocate. What does that mean? That means every person that has the ability to relocate is, because that definitely correlates with economic mobility. They are sitting in a good financial position. So if people are leaving West Virginia, they're taking money with them. If we can get people to come back in, they're going to bring money in. So you're probably asking next, so do conservatives make more money? Why would they make pro-gun laws to try to attract conservatives? Like, do conservatives as a whole have more money? No, kind of. Let's break it down here. So business owners typically lean conservative. Self-employed people typically lean conservative. High-end housing, they typically lean conservatives. Firearms industry typically leans conservatives. What do conservatives do? They create jobs. Now, I'm not saying conservatives are richer, because there's not. If you balance it out, because you've got Silicon Valley, which makes retarded money, all the leftists across California, they all make retarded money. What they don't do is they don't provide jobs. Typically, like, Your leftist person, they're going to be like YouTube, social media, some sort of selling on that. Yeah, they can make the money themselves, but they're not providing other jobs for other people. And yes, California already crushes any leftist bill that West Virginia could do. There's nothing West Virginia could do that would attract somebody that's a hardcore leftist more than California. They have a little beach and an ocean and mountains and celebrities and Silicon Valley. Like, you can't compete against that. So because you can't compete against that, and then you got New York, which is the largest city in America, I believe. Is it? I think it is. We'll just pretend it is for brevity of the video. The largest city in America, how can you compete with that? You can't do any leftist laws that are going to attract anybody if they're already in that area. And they're like, hey, I'm a raging leftist. I believe in not pronouncing and anti-gun, and I'm going to go to New York. That's where I'm going to go. I'm fine with the communist, Marxist ideals. They already got a communist mayor in there. That's where I'm going. So since you can't compete against leftists and you need to grow, the only option really is go right and go far right. So, do conservatives make more money? Not necessarily, but they do operate in industries that develop jobs. So, where is the positives to all of this? Location and climate. Right now, if you want to go to a heavy conservative state, your options are you got Florida and you got Texas when it comes to firearms. They are the winners, and Texas, they have the Fifth Circuit. It's hard to argue against living somewhere with the Fifth Circuit because those judges are phenomenal. They're following the Constitution as written. Bam! Shall not be infringed. Shall not be infringed unless public safety comes into play or feelings are hurt or we just don't like the way a firearm looks. No, shall not be infringed. And that's the way the appellate court has been ruling in the Fifth Circuit, which is pretty amazing. However, West Virginia does have the advantage. I don't want to move that far south. I was in county jail in Florida, and it is miserable. It's like 100 million degrees Kelvin in the sun. It's terrible there, and it's that way the whole year. They got summer, and then they got January. And then you're right back to summer. Like, it's hot. Constantly. It rains constantly. It's retarded humid. Now, Texas is pretty big, so you can go far enough in Texas where you can see snow if you go to northern Texas. But what if I don't want to live that far south? What if I want to live a little bit closer to my climate here in Wisconsin, where I get to experience different seasons? Now, I'm saying West Virginia is as hardcore winter as Wisconsin. Absolutely not. But you get nice seasons. You also get beautiful scenery. It's beautiful looking there. And they're located right next to D.C., Northern Virginia, New York City, Maryland. All these places are retarded anti-gun. So let's pretend I'm pro-gun, right? And West Virginia's like, hey, you guys can come buy machine guns at our state-run gun store. I'm like, hell yeah, let's do it. And I live in one of those areas. It's more attractive for me to move there because obviously my family is going to be from where I moved from, New York, West Virginia, or something like that. I'm going to want to stay close to them. So if I'm, say, New York and I want guns, I'm looking at the different states because I've made it now. I've got money. I'm not saying I do. I'm actually pretty broke right now, but that's just because of all the hit piece articles and them demonetizing the shit out of me on like all platforms. But we're talking in this hypothetical, like, you live in New York, you've made it. Like, your business is booming, you're good. You're like, I want to move. I want to experience firearms. Where can I move? I got Florida. I'm not a big fan of hurricanes. Texas still has hurricanes. I'm from New York, so I kind of like the cold a little bit. Florida doesn't get cold. Texas kind of does in certain areas. Well, I got West Virginia right here. And I can go to the state-run gun shop, and I can buy my full auto. And just spray. Amazing. That's America. I want to move there. And then you know what? When I want to come and visit my family, it's not that far. My buddy Rich, he lives all the way in Florida. He has to drive to New York constantly. I bet you he wishes he lived in West Virginia if they were selling full autos at a gun shop. Yeah, that's going to make a difference. Plus, you're going to pull in people from Washington, D.C. These are all high-income areas. If anybody flips, now I'm conservative, they're going to siphon those people in. So their strategy could actually work, and it could actually work very well. The real question is the Fourth Circuit. That is the downside to all of this. The Fourth Circuit is traditionally anti-gun. I mean, we are talking like they've upheld assault rifle bans. They've upheld just they're overwhelmingly anti-gun, and that's a problem. So that is the big downside to West Virginia, is they have a ridiculous circuit appeal, and that's actually going to come into play here too. But that's okay, because if this case that they start goes all the way up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court's like, well, dude, the language is right there. It doesn't matter if it's in the spirit of Congress, or maybe they were talking about the states can do this metaphorically, but really they're just saying police officers, but they can't say just police officers. They could rule like that, but chances are they're going to be like, look, the language is clear as day. So because the language is stated there, if they want to run a state-run gun shop, so be it. So we'll have to see how that plays out. The real question is, would you move? Right now, if everything goes through, it's legal. West Virginia is now having a state-run gun shop, and they are selling newly manufactured machine guns. You could go down there today and order an FN 249 Bravo, or just a 249, whatever one you want. Full auto, rock and roll, ready to go. Would you move there? That's the real question. I mean, you're going to have to deal with the Fourth Circuit. You do get nice mountains. It's not as hot as Florida or Texas. It's kind of center country, but on the East Coast. Would you move there? And that's the real question they're trying to answer here, and I think it'll work. They're going to rebrand, and because they're so much closer to all those anti-gun states, they're going to be able to siphon off money and jobs from all those states, and ultimately probably maybe become a powerhouse just like Florida and Texas did. There's no doubt about it. Florida and Texas are booming. What they did, their strategy, it worked. Why not copy it? Anyways, if you'd like to help support the channel and you don't want to buy cool survival gear like tourniquets or fire starters or anything like that, like shopping at OnlyTackleFans at shopify.com, the next best way to do that is go down to that affiliate link. Bam! Just click on it. Boom! Click on that Amazon affiliate link. Even if you don't buy what that link is for, just clicking on it. You're doing the Amazon shopping you're already going to do anyway. A little kickback for it because you came there off my channel. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.